Sharon from Jimmy Bean's Wool, and today I'm here to review the Noro magazine. You heard me right. There is actually a magazine all dedicated to Noro, and it is the premiere issue. So this is the first. Noro is such a popular line of yarn that if you're in love with Noro, you should definitely check out this magazine. So you get 35 projects out of this little magazine right here. It's really great. I, in particular, love Noro yarns because they're so playful, and it's really interesting to watch the yarns change color. So in this magazine, they have, of course, a couple of articles about Noro, about what they do and who they are, how they make the yarns. You get a little behind the scene scoop about Noro in particular, featured right here. The yarn is made in Japan, so it's an overseas collection. You can even see there's like little, you can see what they're doing. Oh my gosh, how exciting! So like little swatches and all the yarns and the fibers that they're using and how they do it and put it together. I love reading material when it comes to things like this. I think it's just so fascinating. The projects, there are some crochet projects, and then there are quite a few knitted projects. So if you're into scarves, here is what the scarf pattern looks like. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's a changing of colors, and each color that changes makes it into the new pattern that's featured. So you not only get the color change, but you actually get a pattern change as well. Really beautiful. I love Noro yarn. A lot of people have complaints with what they like about the Noro yarns. I, in particular, don't mind that the yarn changes a little bit from thin to thick. It's not a consistent sort of continuous thread. It has, I mean, it's a piece of art, I think, personally. So thread isn't going to be as consistent as a lot of people would like it to be. There's a couple cowls. Right here, this is really beautiful. This is, I believe, a bias cowl and a garter stitch little vest that swirls on the back. 35 patterns is quite a few. I mean, there's some socks. You got some wristlets in here. Oh my gosh, where's the coat? There's this beautiful coat in here that I just can't even imagine. Here in Reno, Nevada, it gets quite cold. People think Nevada and they think Las Vegas, but we're actually 9 hours if we're going the speed limit far north from Las Vegas, so we're pretty far. But this coat would be perfect for the weather around here. I mean, it's simple, it's elegant, and straight. It has a little bit of a curve and a texture right here where it flares out. That it does button together. I mean, if you wanted to, I'm sure you could do a waistband to even give yourself more contour to that. But I was very impressed with this pattern, and it might even just be the coloring because I'm kind of into the simple lines lately. I'm not into anything too ruffly or frilly or crazy. I'll do the crazy colors, but not necessarily crazy patterning. So that was something that I really enjoyed, was that pattern. And dun, 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 there's a guy in here. You can actually knit your man a sweater, or your son, or your cousin, or your nephew. It is knit. It's beautiful. This pattern's just beautiful. I believe this is the Cafe Mocha color that it's done with, and it's rugged good looks and earthy shading. Put on a new spin on the styles in Brooklyn's hipster mecca. I didn't even know Brooklyn had a mecca of hipsters, but according to Noro, they're in here. We found them. So they have that one. I mean, they have the slouch beanie. This is very popular among the hipster kids. If you have any hipster family members, for any of the nieces and the nephews and the cousins and the daughters and granddaughters and nephews, these hats are so popular, and the colors on here are great. So you can actually knit the Noro and they wear it. This is a typical ribbed beanie here. Simple, easy to do. They also have a really interesting sideways knit cardigan right here where you put together with a little bit of a shawl pin. So that's interesting versus it going side to side parallel. It's actually vertical, so this can, they say, it can elongate you, make you look more flattering and feminine if the stripes go up and down versus sideways. I don't listen to those things, so if you don't either, great. But if you do, you should wear this. Also, they had a slipper pattern. So Noro Curion in particular is 100% wool and felt amazingly. I did a felted bag out of the Curion, and so these are crocheted. So they're not knit. If you know how to crochet, this is something that I would suggest looking at. So it's crocheted, and then it looks like they knit an edging to the outside, but I mean, Curion slippers, this should be indestructible. I mean, if you think about it, if you crocheted it, it would be great. So I like these a lot. I was actually thinking about doing a pair because, I mean, even here you can see how the color can change. Even though it's the same yarn, you're doing two different slippers. If you're not careful, you would actually knit two different, what some people would think is two different color slippers, but it's actually done in the same yarn. So you can see how long the different color variations are. A way to work around that would be to, when you start your next slipper or your next section, you'd pull out the yarn until you got to the color where you last left off on the other shoe. But if you don't want to, you can actually do it this way, which I think is really nice. It still matches. It's beautiful. Crochet, so if you crochet, there's slippers and an afghan right here, which is beautiful. A little hexagon afghan. There is some home decor. So you have a entrelac blanket, entrelac pillow. It looks like another entrelac blanket. These pillows are really interesting. They have little ruffly edges along with it, and you can stuff them. And it's really, really quite neat. It goes into the yarns and what they carry and what they recommend, and beginner to easy. So they kind of give you like a directory or a crash course on Noro. And again, I'm Sharon from Jimmy Bean's Wool, and thanks for watching.
Thunder rumbles on this American summer night.